Hello and welcome back. This is chapter 2 that we're in, video number 4. We are on page 8 in your notes, and we're going to be rolling right along here with, actually this is one of my favorite things to talk about because you are able to do a whole bunch of mental math in your head that you never knew you could do. And I'm going to teach you how to do that here. And these are quite valuable for you as we get into fractions, and we need to be able to identify if certain numbers go into other numbers evenly or if they're divisible. So this video is just about these tricks. A couple of them you might already know, I would guess, and then a couple of them I think you'll be surprised and happy to see that you can do a little more mental math than you thought maybe. Well, the first one most people know. If you look at a number and you want to know, is this number divisible by 2? Well, you probably know the trick is to know if the ones digit is even. If it's an even number, if you have an even number, you know that 2 will go into it. Now you might not know how many times 2 goes into it. That's okay. We'll get to that later. But the question right now is, does 2 go into this number or does it not? And you know if the ones digit is even, it's an even number, and 2 will go into all even numbers. So that's a pretty easy trick. That's a divisibility rule or divisibility trick. Okay, so if I gave you this list of numbers at the bottom of page 9, and I asked you to, as fast as you can, circle the ones that are divisible by 2, hit the pause button, do that and see how fast you can do it. And if you did that, this is what you should have come up with. Those are all the even numbers. Those are all the numbers that are even, divisible by 2. Well, here's the interesting thing. There are tricks for other numbers as well, and I apologize, this is actually not in your book on that page because some of the page numbers have changed. So if you ever see page numbers up here, just ignore them. I forgot to delete them. But let's talk about divisibility by 3. This is a pretty cool one because you can do this almost as fast as an even number and you probably didn't even know it. Here's the rule for the divisibility rule for 3. It looks a lot more confusing than it actually is. A number is divisible by 3 if the sum of the digits is divisible by 3. Now remember, sum is a word that means add. So if I can add the digits of a number and 3 will go into that number, then 3 goes into the original number. Here's an example. Let's take the number 36. Okay, we know that 3 goes into 36 because well, we do know it does. I'll tell you that it does. If I take those digits, 3 plus 6, which is 9, notice that 3 will also go into the 9. Therefore, 3 will go into that number. And this is true all the time. Let's find a more simple one. How about 18? We know 6 times 3 is 18, right? If I had 18, and I add 1 plus 8, which is 9, notice that 3 goes into 9. Therefore, 3 will go into 18. The cool thing is, it doesn't matter how large the number is. Now, again, you might not know how many times 3 goes into 18, but you know that it will. You might not know how many times 3 will go into 36, but we know that it will. It goes in there 12 times. Let's say we had some big crazy number like this, 5,391. I simply want to know, will 3 go into that number? The answer you can figure out by going 5 plus 3 plus 9 plus 1. Add those up. There's 10, there's 8, so 10 and 8 is 18. Does 3 go into 18? Yes, it does, 6 times. So therefore, 3 will go into this number. Another thing you could do is, if you weren't sure if 3 went into 18, you could do 1 plus 8 is 9, and it'll go in there. So yes, 3 goes into that number. Again, you don't know how many times. Now, I'm going to try getting out of my PowerPoint here and show you 5,391. I'm going to pull out my calculator here and show you. Let's see, that number was 5,391. divided by 3. Now if this is divisible by 3, we will not have a decimal point. And there you see, it goes in there 1,797 times. Now that you need a calculator for. But that divisibility rule is always true for 3. Okay, so I'm going to try to get back to my presentation here. Let's see if this will work. There we go. I think that's where we are. All right, so with that rule, hit pause, circle the numbers that are divided by 3 as fast as you can. And this is what you should have done. Those are all the numbers divisible by 3. I hope that worked out for you. It made sense on why they were or were not. Here's one. Oh, I can get my pen back. Just a second here. Put your options pen. Here we go. Let's take this one right here. If you weren't sure why that didn't work out. 5 plus 1 plus 1. 5 plus 1 is 6. That adds up to 7. Therefore, 3 does not go into that number. If you're doing this one right here, 3 plus 1 plus 0 is 4. Therefore, 3 will not go into that one either. All right, well, let's talk about 6. Well, 6 you can do almost as fast as 2 and 3. Believe it or not, you can do this in your head. Here's the rule for 6. A number is divisible by 6 if it is divisible by 2 and by 3. That's my phone telling me I have a text. We'll ignore that sound. A number is divisible by 6 if it is divisible by 2 and 3. So let's take 24. We know that 6 goes into 24. 6, 12, 18, 24, right? It's 6 times 4. All right? Notice it's even, so 2 goes into it. Also notice that 2 plus 4 is 6. Therefore, 3 goes into 6. So 2 and 3 go into this number. Therefore, 6 will also go into that number. It works every time for us. Let's look at another crazy one here. Let's say, well, this isn't too crazy. Say we had 341. Does 6 go into 341? Well, this one, we know right away that 6 will not go into it because that's an odd number. So the answer is no. 6 doesn't go into it. It's odd. So you're done. You don't even have to see if 3 goes into it. But let's say we had 342. Well, it's even. Okay, so it passed that first test. It's like you're doing 2 tests here. You're doing a test for 2. If it passes that test, then you do the test for 3. If they're both true, you have a number that 6 will go into. 3 plus 4 plus 2. I'm doing this now because it's even, so I want to see if it adds up to a number that 3 will go into. 3 plus 4 is 7, 8, 9. That adds to 9. 3 goes into it, 2 goes into it, so yes, 6 will go into that number as well. Hit pause and try this list. And hopefully you came up with this solution. There were only 5 answers there. And if you weren't sure on why or why not those or not by the next class, be sure to ask me about it. Okay, divisibility of 9 is basically the same rule for 3. If you add up the digits, and the digits are divisible by 9, then 9 will go into it. For example, 18. 18 is a number we know that 9 will go into. If you add 1 plus 8, you get the number 9. There it is. Another number that 9 will go into is 54. 5 plus 4 is 9. Now, it's just a coincidence that these are adding up to 9. It would have to add up to 9 or 18 or 27. Most of the time it's going to be 9 because it would take a pretty big number to have digits that added up to 18 for you. But there you can see it. 63. 9 goes into 63. 6 plus 3 is also 9. Okay, so hit pause, circle your 9s, and see how you did. Only 4 on this one. There's 4. So there you have another divisibility trick for you. Now this, if you recall the prime factorization things we did in the previous video, these tricks are really beneficial for you to at least look at a number and say, well, I know 9 goes into it. I might need my calculator to figure out how many times, but the numbers add up to 9. So 9 would go into it. Or 2 and 3 goes into it. So 6 will go into it. So those tricks are really helpful for you. There's 2 other tricks that I don't have sheets for you to look at. The circle, divisibility of 5. If the ones digit is a 5 or a 0, the ones digit. For example, 35. 5 goes into 35. Okay, 40. 5 goes into 40. 45. Notice the ones digit is always a 5 or a 0. So that's one that most people know. And then the last one, if the ones digit is a 0, it's divisible by 10. And again, that's one that most people usually know. 60, divisible by 10. 70, divisible by 10. 80, divisible by 10. All right, those are divisibility rules. I went a little longer than normal, but it's valuable information for you. And I hope that worked out for you. We'll be picking up with fractions here in our next video. Thanks.